Now today we're making sweet potato and ginger soup, and it is absolutely fabulous, and this is my husband's all-time favourite. I'm going to start getting it on the way. I'm not actually cooking it in the soup maker. I'm going to whiz it at the end, but I'm going to actually just do it in the pan because it's sweet potato. It needs a little bit longer to cook than if it was just, say, carrots. So I'm first of all just cooking the onions. So getting this on the way. Here we go. So they are being dry fried. I've just sprayed a little bit of fry light in there just to help it. I think fry light is a fantastic addition, really. Never would have used it before, but it's so low in calories because you use so little of it, and it does stop it cooking, sticking to the bottom, so that's great. So sweet potato, they look like this. They're like this on the inside, and this was just a great big long one. So Dawn is assisting me, my daughter, today, and so she's already cut half of it. So I'm going to give that to Dawn to chop up and peel for me. Thank you. While I talk you through the sort of principles of it all. Now, this recipe was given to me by Mary Morris, who's on our website, fitness guru, absolutely superstar. And I had no specific directions other than to say it's onions, it's carrots, and it's sweet potato, and you put ginger in it. And so, and what I love about recipes for soups is that it's not an exact science. Make it work for you. And as long as you put some seasoning in it, and the reason we have to put onions in is because the onions give it a sort of some thickening, and they give it flavour. And so it's really important that we have onions in there. So I'm just softening the onions, and then I will add my carrots. Now, the carrots for this, 2 large carrots is what you're looking at. And for the sweet potato bit, you want 2 or 1 very large or 2 quite large sweet potatoes, because and to be honest with you, it will make a really good quantity. But when I use carrots like this, I wash them, and then they're not dirty, they're not got soil on them. They've already been pre-washed. There is absolutely no need for me to peel them. So they're going in with all that lovely fibre from the actual skin, which is terrific. So let's just see how we're doing. This is nearly soft now. So into that, I'm going to add this amount of potatoes so far. So this is half that potato. That's going in. I'm going to add the carrots. So pop those in. And so you want to chop them sort of fairly smallish. And then I'm going to add the stock. So this is vegetable stock left over from cooking vegetables. So that's going in. And again, this is one of those things that you need to, it doesn't matter if it's too thick, you need to add more stock. And so don't overdo the stock at the beginning, because if you do, you can't, it's difficult to take it out, isn't it? So have enough stock to make sure that it's sort of bubbling well and it's sort of working. And you can always put a lid on it to make it sort of hurry it up a bit. So that's all nicely going. I'm going to just let that sort of heat through, and it won't take long to do that. I'm going to put a vegetable stock pot into it as well, even though, thank you very much indeed, lovely, thank you. So there goes the rest of the sweet potatoes. It was quite a substantial potato. So in it goes. Sweet potatoes are quite a sort of onion form in their shape, and so they are a bit odd in that respect. I'm going to add a vegetable stock pot to this soup because this is concentrated vegetable stock, and I just think it adds that oomph to any vegetable-based soup. So I'm going to pop that in, and I'm actually going to put a bit more stock in. I've got some here because I'm not quite covering the amount of food that's in there, so the amount of veg that's in there is not going to cook properly. So there we go, that will sort it with, it's all in the water now. So I'm going to let that simmer. I'm going to put the lid on it. And this is a lid that does actually allow steam to come out the top, so it won't boil over, so that's all good. So I'll leave that to just cook for the moment. Now, the great thing about sweet potatoes is that they are low GI. The glycaemic index, which is what GI stands for, is the index that tells you how much it works in stabilising your blood sugar levels. And somebody who's diabetic finds that their sort of sugar levels go sort of up and down big time. And so by having foods that are a low GI, it means that when you eat the foods, the blood sugar level tends to stay on a more even keel, which is what we want. Ever since I started eating sweet potatoes, I have completely fallen in love with them. I dry roast them. I boil them in water for about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, and then I take them out of there and put them onto a baking tray, put them in while we're cooking the roast, whatever that roast might be, and I put them in for about an hour, and that they go a little bit sort of burnt at the edge, and they are absolutely gorgeous. And I serve them, it doesn't matter who comes, if we're going to have a Sunday lunch with anybody, they're getting sweet potatoes, no fat anywhere near them. Really, really works. Now, when it comes to ginger, let's move some of this out of the way. So we're going to add some ginger to this mixture. Once it's cooked, and the vegetables will probably need to cook for about 20 minutes. And so it's not quite boiling yet, it's on the way, so that's good. But when I do put the ginger in, which I'm going to do in 10 minutes time, I have the option of using root ginger, which is the real deal, and you peel it, you can scrape it, or you can peel it with a potato peeler. You can then grate it by hand in a grater, or you can put it into a food processor and just chop it up. And for something like this, I would use, probably because my husband really likes to taste the ginger, I'd probably use most of that. So that's very gingery, but not everybody would want that. Now the other, it's a real cheats version, but it really works, is you buy this very lazy ginger, and all you need a tablespoon of this very lazy ginger to put into the mixture. So it does make life so much easier. We keep this in the fridge, as we do with the same with the garlic, so because you can get very lazy garlic as well, and it just makes it easier and it doesn't go off, and it's there. So we're going to leave that to cook for a little while. In 10 minutes time, I'm going to put some of the ginger in, and then we will come back to it when we're going to whiz it up in the soup maker. And the reason I've not done it in the soup maker is because it takes quite a long time to actually heat up the stock. Then you've got to cook the veg, and also I think there might be quite a lot here. And so on that basis, I can probably get 2 loads out of it. So see you in a few minutes. Now, our sweet potato and ginger soup is all cooked and ready just to be liquidised. So there's quite a lot of it. So I'm going to put it in here with a ladle and then see whether we need any. I'm not going to add any more liquid until it's whizzed around, because the one I really caught a cold with was doing tomatoes, and I put too much liquid in it, and then the tomato soup was really, really runny. And so from then on with tomato soups, I don't put very much stock in at all. But with this, I think actually we might need a bit more. So I'm going to just put a bit more of this stock in here so I can whiz this first lot up. That's fine. There we are. And I'm going to put that on here. And there we are. And put my lid on so it doesn't go everywhere. And switch it on, and let's just go straight off to blending. There we go. Then I'm going to let it rest for a second. I'm just going to pulse it now, so it sort of stirs it thoroughly through it. So this, it draws it in and moves it all around. Right. Now I'm going to stir because there's something sticking on the top. I don't know what it is. This little thing. There you go, in your pot. Thank you. Might only have been a bit of foam or something. Here we go. Now this is quite thick. So I'm going to put a little bit more stock in here. I've got a little bit to one side. And just do that again. That's better. That's better. Now, it's not a bad idea to have a bit of cold stock to one side, because there's nothing worse than serving absolutely boiling soup that nobody can eat. So I'm going to leave it like that. I'm not going to heat it up anymore, but of course if you'll save it for another day, you can just put it in the fridge and off you go. But you'll see the consistency of it, and this is the consistency that I think really, really works. It's quite thick, and I promise you it is absolutely delicious, and anybody who eats it says, wow, this is amazing. So, sweet potato and ginger soup.